wait till it's emptied and then we can go get some more. I will drive it from the cab again, so I'm probably going to get wrapped around or something at some point. So I kind of like these trailers because they do follow each other quite nicely. Unlike the 70-foot trailers, which just cut corners quite badly. All right, back to the farm. Let's get some more. So we are going to be fairly wealthy. Well, we might pay off the field that we bought, or effectively cover the cost of the field. Cover the cost of the field because we already spent that money. 96. Why have we only got 196,000? What else did I buy? Bought the shed, which dropped us from 500 to 400. I bought the field, which dropped us from 400 to 200. Change. Okay, let's have a look at the finances when we're loading the truck again. Or I wasn't paying attention. I mean, it's 196. It's not that far below 200. Okay. At least now I can drive over here and there's nothing in the way. Actually, we're doing quite well for nothing in the way. I think all of the outside stuff has moved. It's just all the stuff in the workshop. Kind of want to pull that out of there because I want to use it as a workshop sometimes. Alrighty, back we go. Wheat, yes. I was going to look at finances. What is going on with our finances? 403 for water, that's animal feed. 231 was the land purchase. There's another 10,000. 9,275 miscellaneous. So that miscellaneous, which was also the same last month, that's where the money, that's why we're below 200. It is what it is. But anyway, we are definitely progressing. And we'll see the payback at the end of this. $225. What is that? 50. So we've got another 20,000 to go in the rear hopper. So if I look at this, 20,000, I've still got 185. So that's 2.5 more truckloads. Ooh. It is what it is. Off we go again. Temperature 27 degrees. I think, yeah, real world temperature 26 degrees. It's kind of cold here in Michigan again. We did have a terrible day yesterday. winds 20 to 30 miles an hour with gusts up to 60. Yeah, we got the gusts up to 60. I haven't seen any trees down, but I haven't looked down the side of the house yet. And then I'm guessing there might be some trees down in the woodland at the end of the yard. But most of the bad trees there are already down and just not on the ground, so it's not really safe to go in the woodlands, because the trees that are down have rotted and fallen against other trees, so they're still elevated above the ground. You walk under them, you are risking life and limb. Solar panels are doing well this month. I think we are now at we checked our usage back in February for how many kilowatts do we use a day. We're probably using a little bit more as temperatures get 72. We've had a couple of days where the temperatures are 70, where the air conditioner might kick in. But going on last month's usage, we are now at I want to say probably about 20 days of generated power, and it's the 14th. So 3 weeks of power in 2 weeks, which is not bad. Oops. Cut the corner too much, hit the fence with the truck. But yeah, that's kind of awesome. So end of this month, we should have generated more electricity than we use. But again, March, April, May, you tend not to use... It tends to be the low point of energy usage, because you're not doing much in the way of heating, you're not doing much in the way of... It's too far. In the way of cooling either. But... summer you've got the AC on, so that gets extremely expensive, but lots of sunshine, long daylight hours should generate power to cover that. During the winter, you've got heating. Our heating is gas, so unfortunately that is... we're always going to have to pay that, because solar panels don't generate gas. This is not a good surface either, because we're deforming the surface of the unload area. Oh, there we go. And the door opens and the stuff comes out. We can't see it, the camera angle is a little just on the edge there. And as soon as that stops tipping, we have to wait for that door to close, and then we can switch to the other chamber and open that door. I can switch it back to the front. And done. Alrighty. Train. Okay. Also, I didn't check the cotton bale costs. We could check those when we get back to the farm when we're low. We can check those when we get back to the farm. Get the next load of wheat, which will put us up to 225. Yeah, we've got lots. I think the train takes 300. Not sure, but I guess we can. Ooh. I'm not too fussed. We're going to have to rent the train twice, so I might as well ship everything out there and then worry about loading the train up. I'm at low angle. So, cotton bale prices when we get back to the farm, if I remember. Cameo, good morning. No, I've got some wheat to take to market. I'm going to finish that job off before we call it a day. I guess next week is the 21st. I have a wedding on the 28th. I don't have a wedding. I have been invited to attend somebody else's wedding on the 28th. So there will be an incredibly short, if at all, stream on the 28th. 21st is going to be fine, and I am probably looking at having the farm in spring planting season, because we have a lot of fields to plant. But, yeah. Let's get that up there. Until that happens, go. Yeah, I don't have a lot to do today. I could run the the laser cutter again and cut some more platform modules for the model railway. But Mrs. Osa's asleep. The laser sits in the bedroom, so gonna have to wait till she wakes up before that happens. And then what else do I have? I have 2 sound decoders that need to be programmed and installed in trains, so that's later. Might do that while Mrs. Osa's sleeping, because obviously the computers aren't in the bedroom. And then depending on weather, we might go to church tonight. There's been a thing all week at church. Well, at least Wednesday through Sunday. And I was having bad indigestion on Wednesday, so we didn't go Wednesday or Thursday. Yesterday night was gale force winds and a snowy, wintry mix, so we didn't go last night. But we've been able to watch on TV. Tonight's session is not going to be broadcast, so you have to attend in person if you want to be there. And again, depends on what the weather does today. It's looking quite nice outside. We've got blue skies, 24 degrees, 26 degrees, and the snow's all melted for the most part. So yeah, it's not a bad day out there. Bit bracing, but I'm okay with it. So we might go tonight. And they're serving food, so church food is always worth going to. Because it's a Baptist church, and Baptists like food. We did have a bit of disaster last week. We've got a lot of beef in the basement, and we tried to do a rotisserie in the air fryer. We've done that once and it worked really well. And this time it worked really badly. I've got a really good knife, so I cut the beef into slices, but it was really tough. I think wrong cooking method for that particular roast. But Mrs. Osa threw it in a crock pot with some beef broth and just cooked it really well. And it is really soft and tender now because obviously it's soaked in the juices, and had some yesterday in sandwiches. Gonna have some more today in sandwiches because that was good. Oh, I have maybe gone too far. Guess we'll see. But there's still some left, so I will have some more sandwiches today. But yeah, I think we have to, I'm going to have to, when I pull a roast upstairs, we're going to have to look up what's the best way to do it. Because some are really cook them in a crock pot with lots of liquid, and others are, there's pretty much any method you can use to cook it and it's all fine. And I do like my roasts generally dry roast, in an oven, dry roasted rather than just drowned in liquid. I like dry roast potatoes. That's why I like dry roast, because we roast the beef in its own juices, and dry roast potatoes, crispy roast potatoes are just awesome. When Mrs. Osa does it in the crock pot, it's just everything goes in the crock pot, and including the potatoes. So they're kind of boiled meat flavoured potatoes, I guess, is the way to call it. Still good. So. But yeah, basically we have to make an effort to eat the roast and the steaks. We don't eat a lot of steaks or roasts, or at least we haven't in the past. So I tend to order roasts, steaks, and ground beef, because that looks clear. Let's go. Because roasts and steaks are really expensive at the store, and we're paying like less than $5 a pound, and you go and buy a New York strip steak and that's like $18 a pound. It's like, and we're still paying less per pound for the ground beef than you can buy ground beef at the store. I think ground beef at the store is over $5, and we're getting it for under $5. So Mrs. Osa likes to have ground beef on hand, so we can do hamburger helper, homemade version of hamburger helper. All the hamburger stuff, cottage pie, meatloaf, meatballs, blah 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 blah. But the steaks and the roasts tend to sit around because she said, I got no ideas for that. But we've started looking online for ideas, and pull the steak out, cut it into bits, and have a sort of a beef tip stew using the steaks, and really good stuff. You can pretty much do the same thing with roasts. Just cut it into small pieces and cook it that way. So you don't have to have a roast beef or a steak. You can just have others. I don't buy stew meat. I don't get stew meat cuts and stuff like that, or stir fry cuts, because you buy the big thing. If you want a steak, you can have one, and you're saving a ton of money. And if you don't want the steak, you can still use the steak meat to have a stir fry. So it's good either way. It's very versatile. So that's what we're doing with that. Oops, it's an accident. but it means if we do that and have stews and what have you, it does mean that there's a more even usage of the meat. We don't really have anything that we can grind the meat in. So, oops, not going to do that. 74,000, yeah, this is a full truckload. So we're going to fill up the front hopper again. To finish this shipment off. I don't know why the back one's F1 and the front one's F2. But we probably need to get some stuff out of the freezer today because we have no plans for next week. Also need to make a run to Sam's. Mrs. Osa has been working on a lot of new projects and she's in need of some paper, so we need to go to Sam's and buy a couple of reams of paper or a box of paper. Oh, hello. Yes, you can deny. Oh, there you go. That's all I had to do. I should have reported them before I denied them. Another one of those, hey, cheap viewers, pay us money, we'll boost your stats against terms of service. So, yeah, thanks for playing. Normally I'll take time out to ban them. And, or not, no, I don't ban them. I report them to the Twitch crowd and they kill the profile. I'm assuming enough people are going to report them that they'll get banned soon. I've had ones turn up that they're sort of, this one appears to be a nefarious account, but I still have to go through the steps to remove them. This one just came in and said, hey, your auto moderator has decided that this shouldn't get posted unless you approve it. So that's a new thing. Auto filter. I'm guessing the last update on Twitch was improvement of the auto filter AI. Ugh. Okay. Oh. Truck's doing okay. Yeah, we've done well this weather. So, and I was going to, I'm going to have to do that when we're unloading. Ugh. Crazy, crazy people. We will check the price of cotton bales because I have tons of them. They're 10,000 things each. And cotton is about 2,000 per 1,000 litres. So one bale is approximately 20,000 money, and we've got about 20 of them. So that's going to put the bank balance back up to good levels. What I'm selecting front, so stop, unload. Prices cotton just a little shy of the maximum, but we're on the climb up to best-selling price now. Unload, select the back one, let's jump out. Oh, still emptying. So we'll go and grab the last, it's only going to be the front trailer's worth of wheat for the last trip. Then Call the train and sell it all. Make a ton of money. Awesome. Oh, there's the train. Get you next time. And it's empty. Wait till the door closes and then switch to the other container. But I can switch back to the front truck immediately.